So in today's video, guys, we're looking at a unique 4-2-2-2 system that helped FC Utrecht win the Dutch Eredivisie in one attempt, toppling Feyenoord, Ajax and PSV Eindhoven in the process. I also tested out this tactic with Spanish sides Real Betis, Belompe and Athletic Club Bilbao, and we'll actually look at their results much later in this video. But first, we're going to focus on Utrecht and how this tactic was able to dominate the Dutch league and put aside Ajax in their dominance. So the tactic is a 4-2-2-2. It looks like a 4-1-1-2-2, but I'm going to call it 4-2-2-2 since the roaming playmaker is going to be somewhat in the central midfield position. There's something unique about this tactic that is similar to the previous tactic that I shared, which is an inverted wing back, or having two inverted wing backs on attack DT and a roaming playmaker in the defensive midfield position. That sort of tends to work in FM22 as well. It's unique to see if that's going to continue working in Football Manager 2023. So looking at the results that FC Utrecht actually had, and they actually went on to win the league. They won 27 of the games that they played. Then they drew 4 times, they lost 3 times, losing 3 times to FC MN, SC Herenveen and Campbell as well. So they had a goal difference of 66 and then had 85 points, far beyond Ajax and Feyenoord and PSV as well. Those 3 actually came in 2nd, 3rd and 4th place respectively. Looking at the amount of goals that they scored 105 goals in the league, and then the shots against, they were probably 6th. So they did well defensively. Looking at most points per game, 2.5 points per game, far beyond Ajax actually had. Ajax had 2.09. Fewest conceded because the defense is actually very important. So we're going to look at the defense. PSV had the least conceded with 33. Ajax still had the least conceded, but then FC Twente is right up there as well with 39. I have to admit, looking at the competition review, we're going to have to look at where FC Twente were actually predicted to finish. I should have mentioned that at first in the video. They were predicted to finish in 6th place, but looking at the review, yep, it still stays the same. So they were predicted to finish in 6th place, and that didn't actually update despite the fact that they walked the league. But that's basically how the tactic worked out for them. We're going to look at the Spanish sides and how it worked for them much later. But we're going to take you through the tactic in detail now. If you're not aware, you can also connect with me at DarkHorse FM here on Twitter. This is my Twitter page. And while we're working towards connecting with more Football Manager gamers and learning from the best Football Manager gamers all around, everywhere in the world, I'm also working towards creating better Football Manager content for you guys. And creating better Football Manager content also requires very good sound quality system. Good sound. That's what I was trying to say. So I'm working towards getting a better sound system, a better microphone especially. And if you want to support that, you can actually come to my Twitter page, and then there's a press release here right on top, and then you can go into the press release and there's a link to PayPal to donate for the microphone support. By the way, it's not compulsory, but if you're interested, if you actually want to help me get a new microphone, you can do that. And thank you very much as you support. So thank you guys, you do a lot for me. Actually, when it comes to views and comments, and I learn a lot from you guys. So you can follow me on Twitter and we can continue talking about Football Manager. So as I mentioned before, the back four is going to stay pretty much the same. There's a super keeper on support DT as well. Then there's one central defender. Okay, probably this is the difference between this back four and the last back four that I actually tested. There is a central defender on defend DT here, and there's a ball playing defender beside him that is also on defend DT. You have 2 inverted wing backs on attack DT as well. In the defensive midfield position, there's a roaming playmaker on support, and then in the central midfield position, slightly to the right, there is a Mezzala on attack DT. In the number 10 role, they have a shadow striker on attack DT, which is very complementary to the false nine that is playing ahead of him. They will not clash their positions because the false nine is going to be slightly deeper, and then the space left by the false nine is going to be exploited by the shadow striker on attack DT. There's also a winger on attack on the left hand side, and then the advanced forward is the right-sided striker with on attack DT. All advanced forwards are always on attack DT. I don't know why I always have to repeat that every time, but advanced forward on attack DT. Going into the team instructions, then when the team is out of possession, they are expected to play, or they are expected to use the offside trap, much higher line of engagement with the standard defensive line. Their defensive width is narrow, so they're forcing the opposition to play out wide and then trying to stop the crosses. And then there's a much more often trigger press. The goalkeeper, they've also been instructed to prevent the forwards have also been instructed to prevent short goalkeeper distributions. Looking at the in transition phase, when the team has the possession, or when the team has just one possession, they have been asked to counter press and then to counter. The goalkeeper also has been asked to roll the ball out into the probably central defenders or anybody closest to him, or the fullbacks as well, the inverted wing backs. In attack, when the team is in possession of the ball, the attacking width is fairly wide, but the goalkeeper, like we saw before, has been asked to play the ball out of defense. The tempo is extremely high, but there isn't much change to the passing directness. That's influenced by the team's mentality. In the final third, the team has been asked to play low crosses and then walk the ball into the box. The mentality of the entire tactic is generally positive, so that kind of affects the way, like I mentioned, the way the passing is going to go. You switch the mentality to maybe a more cautious or a more attacking mentality. The passing directness is going to be slightly higher, but currently the mentality is positive, so the passing directness is on slightly shorter. The origin of this tactic is somewhat unknown to me. I did find it on Discord, so I kind of added via Discord. And then there's the name of the tactic is actually FMB10. If you see this tactic and this is your tactic, you need to send me a message or let me know in the comment section as well, because this is an amazing tactic that actually got FC Twente these amazing results in the Dutch Eredivisie. It's going to be interesting to see if the tactic is going to work out in the Premier League as well, because I noticed the Premier League is slightly more difficult to actually dominate. But it's why I also tested this tactic out in a different league, the Spanish league. So we're going to look at the results that the Spanish sides actually had with this tactic and see how well they did, if the tactic is possible to work in a very competitive league going to Spain. We're off to Spain then, and then looking at Real Betis, Real Hispalis, according to Football Manager, they were knocked out at the semi-finals against Manchester United in the Euro. This is the UEFA Europa League, right? Yes, they were knocked out in the Europa League semi-final, and then they got knocked out in the Spanish Cup by Celta Vigo in the 5th round. Not very good, but they made it to the semi-finals of the Spanish Super Cup. I didn't know the Spanish Super Cup actually had more than one round. I thought Super Cup was always a final thing. Okay, Real Betis actually made it to the semi-final of the Spanish Super Cup. They finished in 5th place, but looking at the team's preview, the season preview, to see where they were supposed to finish, they were supposed to finish in 8th, so the tactic took them all the way up to 5th. Athletic Club Bilbao, on the other hand, were supposed to finish in 6th place as prediction shows, but they went all the way to finish in 3rd, so they're going for the UEFA Champions League next season. Next season they're actually going to be in the Champions League. The stats look quite good. I don't know how well Real Betis and Athletic Club Bilbao would manage to score that many goals in the La Liga, but currently Real Madrid and FC Barcelona were the first two, 94 and 91 goals respectively. And then looking at Real Betis and Real and Athletic Club Bilbao, they had 81 and 80 goals respectively, so they did well enough to actually push them beyond where they were expected to finish. So the tactic did work for them, and with a hands-on approach you might probably get better results with this tactic. Looking at the fewest conceded, they were in 6th and 7th place, 39 and 49 goals that they conceded, so not a lot of goals considering the way the tactic is set up. I did expect them to concede a lot of goals, but looking at this fewest conceded, 39 and 40, close enough to, let's say, Barcelona of 25-28, so not as much as it didn't get up to 60 goals 60 goals conceded, so that's not bad. Looking at how the tactic performed when it faced off against itself, Real Betis and Athletic Club Bilbao. Looking at the Spanish division here, you can see that Real Betis, in their first meeting with Athletic Club Bilbao, actually came out on top with a 2-0 win away from home, and then the second time they actually met away at home, Athletic Club Bilbao actually came out on top again with a 4-1 victory over their rivals. And then that's basically how the tactic worked out. It looks like one team. It has a lot to do with how good you are as a team. So if Athletic Club is slightly better than Real Betis to some extent, or if they do have better players in certain positions, that's in the shadow striker position, you actually have a good shadow striker, a good false nine, a good centre forward that is slightly better than that of Real Betis, or you have good inverted wingers or players that can play on the inverted side, the tactic will probably work much better if you do have those players that can actually fill in these positions. And I have to admit, when you're playing with an inverted wing back on attack duty, it's recommended that you just use a player that actually is good at both feet, or can, let's say, on the left hand side, a right wing back would actually play well as an inverted wing back on the left hand side. So just having those slight tweaks actually make the tactic more like optimize the tactic to actually get better results from it. And that if Athletic Bilbao actually have that better than Real Betis, the tactic actually going to favor them when they come up against each other. That's the summary of the tactic, guys. I'll catch you in the next video with more Football Manager tactics like this, OP tactics that you can test out with mid-table sides to see if you can get better results from those tactics if it works out for you. So I'll catch you in the next video. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you found this video useful. If you actually, and I'm also going to attach the link to the tactic in the description so you can download the tactic for yourself and let me know how it works out for you as well. So remember to hit the like for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you later.